My first time I walked into St. Mark's, I remember taking an audible deep breath, because there's something about the space that's very simple yet profound.
The number of times I've been moved to tears being in this space, hearing this music, hearing words of true empathy and inclusion, it's a profound gift.
This capital campaign is really about 3 goals. First, our commitment to creation care and specifically carbon reduction to be net carbon emission zero on campus by the year 2030.
We talk a lot about stewardship in this place, and we talk about it in terms of time or talent or treasure, but more broadly, in our faith and in our way of life, we think about stewardship of the earth.
We refer to the earth as our island home. I think the same is true for this building, an island home amidst all the hustle bustle of life.
We're actually willing to make our actions match our beliefs, the opportunity to practice what we preach.
What we know about the heating systems here at the cathedral for the nave itself and for also Cathedral House and Blodale Hall is that those systems are beyond their expected lifespan.
A lot of the electrical panels have to be replaced. It's all panel, you don't see it, but it's so important to keep life in the building.
While it may not be exciting to think about putting boilers in new spaces, I think it's a great gift.
It's our call to care for the earth. We would not be able to do the things that we're doing or have the relationship with God that we have without being able to live in a place that's sustainable.
We do have a responsibility to care for the earth, and one way of doing that is minimizing our negative impact.
The stewardship of the building matters, even if we won't necessarily see all the things that are happening under the floor and in the basement and in the boiler room.
Welcome to the boiler room for St. Mark's Cathedral House and the nave.
Very rare that you come into a building and you see steam systems and you see hot water systems that are just completely plugged. I think this boiler is coming up on also 30 plus years of age. The burner is antiquated by today's standards. We've had discussions internally that, you know, whenever this burner goes, there's no way to really replace it.
One of the stories that I sometimes tell, and I don't know if it's urban myth or not, but Puget Sound Energy can actually tell when the gas boilers at St. Mark's Cathedral kick on because of the amount of gas it takes to heat this space.
The plan is to essentially move away from natural gas as a heating energy source and move to electricity.
Secondly, to enhance the welcome and worship experience of the cathedral for all who come here to worship.
As we go through the remodel of the narthex, it becomes brighter, it becomes more open, it becomes visible to the outside world. Right now there's those dark wooden doors, and as that brightness and openness comes to be, I think it really just reflects the ethos of this community.
The new narthex, I think, will be so much warmer and more inviting. I mean, it'll be warmer because, of course, we'll have heating out there, which we don't now.
So the main goal of this project now is to just brighten up the narthex and make it transparent from the street in and from the nave out.
When people will be in that narthex and look through those glass doors, they're going to see straight through to the altar, they're going to see straight through to the cross, and the central symbols for who we are will be visible.
And the other piece now that is really crying out to us is the floor. It's the first original raw concrete pour. There is no finished floor, and the floor we've got is starting to fall apart. There are chips and chunks missing. People have been tripping, and we have a wonderful opportunity not just to fix that, but to take it to another level.
And then the floor will be this new heated slate floor that comes in and becomes part of the naves. Obviously you come in here and what you're drawn to is these huge windows and all the light and the volume of this space. So having the floor be this sort of background material that is quiet and of a real material, but just a background material for this incredible sort of square, almost cube-like space.
And then thirdly, a commitment to making lasting investments in the music ministry, which we hold so dear.
St. Mark's is known all over the world for having resurrected Compline.
The music is one of the main things that kept me coming back. I think even when your prayer feels really chaotic or frenzied, the music always is a space of warmth and solace.
It is the way that so many people find their way into this place, this cathedral, as their spiritual home.
You can think of music making for people who are wandering in here for the first time as a kind of a nectar that attracts the honeybee, which then goes out and pollinates the world with truth and beauty. Oh, that was so corny.
We know that music making is one of the prime formational tools that we have for our children and for our adults.
As we look to endow these musical positions, we also think about the fact that we want people to come. We want people to hear that. And by endowing them, we create that for generations to come.
Paul Fritz has had a long relationship with St. Mark's as the curator of the Flentrop organ, the builder of the organ in Thompson Chapel, and as a friend and colleague of Peter Halleck's. The instrument we've been invited to accept will be, in our time, what the Flentrop was 60 years ago.
It's wonderful to be presented with a gift that is something unique to our region and in many ways unique to our nation. A unique sound world that will be offered through the particular voicing of this instrument.
One always has dreams as one sits in a cathedral space that's familiar to you and meaningful to you and you have a long history with, and that includes the people of St. Mark's. And one dream that I've been talking about over the decades is a small, more specifically focused in terms of style organ, and the blank wall above the Compline corner has been calling out for just such a project. The idea is that this new organ will open up many windows into the past, but also enable new music to come alive in a different way.
So there's a very strong personal relationship between what Paul's inviting us to do and this place and its history as a center for music making in the Pacific Northwest.
I feel privileged to be one person in one generation in a long string of generations that have helped build this place and that has the privilege to be helping make it continue. Because, I'm getting older, I'm going to be gone, but it's kind of comforting to know that this place will have a future so far beyond any of our individual lives.
That it's going to be available for the next generation, and that we're contributing that as people before have contributed to the keeping the cathedral going and thriving.
Church is something that we all participate in, we all create, from the youngest to the eldest.
This cathedral is a visible sign of God's love, and that when people look at this place, they know that prayers matter, that encounter with God matters, that spiritual community matters, and that we're leaving that as a sign for those who come to follow.
My hope for the future of this space is that we continue to build on it and make it a space of warmth. I think its openness, vastness, and simplicity creates a sense of this feeling of the vastness of our relationship with God.
One of the keen things that I'm aware of as the dean of this cathedral is that we get to hold this place as sacred for a time. We are stewards for a time. And just as those who went before us held the space for us to come here, now we are holding the space for those who will come after us. And I am buoyed by the thought of the future generations who will call this place their spiritual home.